I remember when I was younger, I would always see famous people and YouTubers and stuff like that and be like, they're not like grateful enough and they're not giving back enough. Like they should do this, they should do that. Why aren't they giving back like this? Why aren't they doing live streams here? Why aren't they? And like, especially with YouTube, I'm like, why are they like going for 2 weeks at a time, just like not uploading videos, then coming back and saying, oh, like I was busy. It's like, you can come on for 10 minutes on a YouTube video live and just like do something for your audience. Like they love you, they want to see you. And I remember like vividly thinking as a kid, like if I ever in my fucking life had an audience that cared about me, and supporters that believed in me, and people that fucked with my videos and stuff, like I would create the most like awesome just group of people. And so it's so cool that now we have the OG Joyagers, my first 150 in Discord, and my Joyagers who are holders of my NFTs, which is really cool. And so a lot of those benefits will be starting to get unlocked as my channel starts to grow. And right now, like I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of anything. I'm just getting started. So people who hold my NFTs, people who are OG Joyagers are in it for the long term. And I appreciate that because that's kind of the goal for everything on this channel. Welcome back to your Joyage, guys. This is Cade, your guide. I'll be replacing the little voice I said for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thank you for listening or viewing whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, drop a like in this video so other people can find the voyage. I'm not sure if it's going to go on the main channel or the podcast channel, but either way, subscribe to both. The links are in the description below. So you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is an interview with myself, especially if you're new here. Welcome. But I like to do these little interviews with myself where I kind of just blabber. I just talk, kind of like when I journal. I just like, just word vomit everywhere. And, you know, the past few weeks I've been wanting to do one. I just can't find time. It never feels like the right time. And right now it doesn't feel like the right time. But I was like, dude, I've been trying to do this for like weeks now. I should just film it even though I don't feel like it. So that's what we're doing. Because the Cade that most of you know, the NFT Cade, the one with the sunglasses, that only kind of birthed a month ago. And my life was very, very different literally a month and a half ago. I mean, before this YouTube channel picked up with NFTs, I've been making videos for 10 years. And only the last year did I like commit and go hard and just like really give YouTube a shot. And it took over a full year for that to happen. I'm sorry, this is weird because I'm so used to shooting YouTube videos and taking little pauses and gathering myself, but this is like a free-flowing podcast. I'm going to try not to edit it. Sometimes I end up, like if I have like weird, awkward pauses where I'm like, what am I saying again? But yeah, I mean, literally, I did a 6-month road trip, so I'm going to do a Q&A, like a full Q&A at some point soon. So this is more of just like a prep for you guys, just so you guys have some background information on me. I'm hoping you guys listen to this podcast all the way through and then write down any questions you have, drop them in Discord, tag me on Twitter, whatever, and I'll answer those questions to the Q&A. But 6 months ago, or I don't know when it was back in like April or May, I finally left. So I'd been planning for a year to do van life. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably not buy a van because I don't know if I'm going to like it. So I transformed my car. There's a whole YouTube series. Like if you go back a few months, you'll find all these other videos that are travel related, self-care, health, like mental health, fitness, soccer. Like you'll find all types of videos. I've been making videos since 2010. So yeah, you'll find travel videos, tips, like fucking vlogs, shit like that. And honestly, I'm actually going to do a vlog on my way back, and I'm going to make a video with Arson Labs. And it'll be cool. He's one of my friends from back home. He's got a wrist rest company, and it's doing fucking amazing. So we're probably going to end up collabing, but I want to do a video and make videos that I want to do. Like for like years, I tried to make videos that I liked, and no one ever watched them. It never got picked up by anybody. And I don't know. I didn't really lose hope. Like for so long, I just kind of grinded, and that's really the answer to like how you do anything, like especially YouTube. A lot of people want to know how to do YouTube, and for the past 10 years I've been trying, and it's hard to find the algorithm. I'm gonna make a little short story, like video thing, animation one day, where I describe kind of what it's like to chip away until you find the algorithm. And I think it's really cool because I think people underestimate they underestimate like how hard content is. Like making videos, like to see the amount of content and quality I'm putting into my videos is a lot of fucking work. But it also took 10 years of me editing, exporting, getting videos, trying out algorithms, doing different titles, like all this shit, all these skills I picked up, 10 years of watching other people blow up and being on the sidelines. I learned a lot of shit. And so I'm applying it now that I have an audience, and it's fucking working. Like literally it's working like a charm. It's unbelievable. And it's weird because like I don't really feel any different. I don't feel any glorified. I don't feel like, oh my God, I'm a fucking YouTuber, because I'm not making like quality consistent money yet. It's still like kind of like, it's decent, like it's enough, but it's like, once I make YouTuber money and I can relax about paying off bills, you know, like there's a bunch of gear that I need to fucking get. Like right now I have an umbrella light that costs like $10 as my main key light. I have no real decorations. This is all my dad's shit, like all this shit in the whole room. And it's like, I want to be able to buy stuff, invest, and do giveaways and stuff without having to worry about bills. And so that's going to be great. I'm really, really looking forward to that, honestly. But, yeah, for 6 months I traveled in my car. I learned, I lived in my car, guys. Like I was sleeping in the back of a Prius, and I just sold that Prius, actually. It was kind of sad, but yeah, I stayed in the Prius for 6 months, drove around, hiked, traveled, went to these different national parks, to state parks. I DoorDashed, and then like along that trip I found NFTs and became obsessed, and I started to just like 15 hours a day and like just nonstop. And if I wasn't doing NFTs, I was like DoorDashing, but like doing NFTs the whole time while I'm doing that, and just like learning, researching, and like trying, failing, losing, winning, and doing all the things for months and months and months and months. And I'm pretty sure I lost like almost all my money, and I think I'm finally starting to probably circle back around to like break even, because I lost so much money in the beginning, you have no idea. And I overpaid for so much shit. Like my Space Punk, I bought it like 0.8 Ethereum, bro. That was stupid. All right, there's a lot of stupid things I did because I thought I had to get in. I thought the gold rush was in the summer. I didn't think the gold rush was going to last months and months and months and months and years, maybe. So yeah, I just did NFTs for so long, and yeah, and it pretty much just led to here. But I feel like I kind of condensed it into a little story that wasn't very meaningful. Wow, that was terrible. But on that trip, I learned so much shit. I became so just like in tune with myself and learned to be alone. I mean, you're like alone when you're out there. Traveling solo is very, very isolating. And for me, I don't mind it. Like I actually like being alone, and I miss being alone, to be totally honest. Like even sometimes I'm walking my dog and I'm like, bro, I kind of wish I was walking by myself right now. And so I do really value my time alone. I still don't know if I'm like extrovert or introvert. I have like this extroverted version of me that pops out super quick, super easily, very naturally. But then like, if I'm not feeling it, then I just kind of like, I'm just good to just chill in the background. Like my whole life I've been kind of like an outskirt, kind of like a dork, a dweeb. And I would just sit around the outskirts and like watch other people do the things I wanted to do. Like watch the other guy walk up to the girl I wanted to talk to, or like any of those things. I always lived on the sidelines. So I'm naturally a bit more reserved, I think. And that's why YouTube has been great. And my whole life, like, especially in this last year, there's podcasts where you can, if you go back to my podcast, just watch the ones that are just me talking to me. For so long, I've been wanting to make YouTube videos and like do them in my room without having to leave or do anything or get anywhere, or like, I hated vlogging. It just looked like so much fucking work. And I was like, I want to be able to like have my value just come from my mouth, and just like whatever I say is the content. And like, how do I do that? Like I saw those reaction guys and I was like, well, I'm not good at like reacting videos. But then like I got an audience and I was like, yo, this is perfect. Like they fuck with me. I can make like a video that people would want to see reactions for. And then like, I don't have to be that good. I can just react to like a normal person and people will want to watch it. And that's where like the really honest reactions was born. And honestly, dude, just like, I'm like built for YouTube. That's why I know I'm going to win. Like I have March 2022 for 100K, and I have like June 2023 for 1 million. And I think it's going to happen quicker than that. But I know so much about YouTube. Like you have no idea. Like I know so much about YouTube, and all the things I knew wouldn't work yet for me until I found my niche. And now that I did, bro, like this channel is going to go literally to the fucking moon. It's crazy. So yeah, it's just really, really exciting. And I'm sorry about all this word vomit. I usually take the first 10, 15 minutes of my podcast by myself to kind of just like unload a bunch of shit until I like the good stuff starts to come out. I just start like really talking. Cause right now I feel like I'm talking to a camera and I'm talking to you. And with these interviews, the good stuff comes when I just start like blabbering and just fucking going off on stuff. And so I guess we'll talk about some of the things I've been struggling with. I guess recently I'm struggling to time and like find a balance with all my shit and know when to stop and when like enough work is enough and when I didn't do enough, and feeling like I need to post this and that. And it's weird because sometimes I have this perspective of like, I'm gonna get there. Like I'm gonna make it. There's no point in stressing. Like for me, it's too late. I'm too deep to not make it at this point. Like I'm gonna be fine. And so to operate under the mindset of abundance like that and to know that I'm good it's very new to me, and I'm not used to that. I'm not used to believing in myself and seeing results at the same time. I'm usually seeing results and being in disbelief, or I'm not seeing results and I'm just believing. My whole life has been that. So to actually be seeing results in real time is fucking weird. And I'm okay with it because like I've had success before online, and I've like gone viral before and stuff like that. So I'm not like freaking out, but it's weird, you know. It's cool, and I feel like I'm transitioning well, and I'm staying close to home with what I want to do. And the reason I made my channel is because the content out there sucks right now. It's just not good. And so it's really hard for me sometimes, because I'll sometimes want to make those videos like 1000x this, like this coin's going to the moon, and I just like have no desire to do that, to like grovel to the algorithm, you know, because like I know that video will work. If I make a video called my top 5 NFTs, buy these now, and like urgent or something like that, like it'll do amazing. It'll do probably 2 or 3x what I usually do. But like that, like for me, I don't want to do those because I know I'm going to get there without them. But it's hard because there's all these channels that are like passing me, and they have so many more followers than me. I'm just like, dude, it's just so lame. But at the same time, I look at like Benjamin Cohen, who did everything the way he wanted, and he's at 600K. So I'm like, I'm gonna be fine. You know, Gary Vee did it, Tom Billiard, like they did it by sticking with what they wanted to do from the start, and being generous, and really, really keeping the community and supporters first. And that's like been the goal forever. And I remember when I was younger, I would always see famous people and YouTubers and stuff like that and be like, they're not like grateful enough, and they're not giving back enough. Like they should do this, they should do that. Why aren't they giving back like this? Why aren't they doing live streams here? Why aren't they? And like, especially with YouTube, I'm like, why are they like going for 2 weeks at a time, just like not uploading videos, then coming back and say, oh, like I was busy. It's like, you can come on for 10 minutes on a YouTube video live and just like do something for your audience. Like they love you, they want to see you. And I remember like vividly thinking as a kid, like if I ever in my fucking life had an audience that cared about me, and supporters that believed in me, and people that fucked with my videos and stuff, like I would create the most like awesome just group of people. And so it's so cool that now we have the OG Joyagers, my first 150 in the Discord, and my Joyagers who are holders of my NFTs, which is really cool. And so a lot of those benefits will be starting to get unlocked as my channel starts to grow. And right now, like I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of anything. I'm just getting started. So people who hold my NFTs, people who are OG Joyagers, are in it for the long term. And I appreciate that, because that's kind of the goal for everything on this channel. And so it makes sense that by investing in me, you're picking a long-term hold in good faith that I will, you know, bring you rewards for holding and all that stuff. And I will. And like my holders for my NFTs, there's not going to be a lot of NFTs. I'm not going to be like dropping NFTs every other day. So, and my NFTs are fucking good. Like my photography I'm really good at photography. And so the people I hang out with, when I tell them like, hey, just do this and don't change anything, the picture comes out amazing. And so the NFTs I have are high quality, and I only plan on upgrading them and making them better and better, and making them into moving pieces, like with animation and music, and tying them in with different things and getting them into exclusive like groups and stuff like that. And I have a lot of plans for people who fuck with me the hardest. And especially like when, like you guys don't even realize, some of you do, YouTuber money, that shit is ridiculous sometimes. Like I've heard some crazy stories. Like here's what I'm just thinking, like in a few years, right? Company comes out and says, hey, we want you to do a Brilliant Honest review, 50 grand, like that kind of thing. That stuff happens, bro. 50 grand. Dog, if I make 50 grand, I'll do like a raffle and be like, look, I'll pay for a week straight of your Airbnb anywhere you want. And I'll do it for like 5 people in a 20 person like raffle kind of thing. And like, I want to fly people out. I want to like buy a home in Hawaii and be like a free Airbnb for my holders. Like I have big fucking plans, and I have a lot of faith in myself to make a lot of money. And I'm a firm believer that drugs, alcohol, and money bring out who you really are. And I've had a lot of money before, and I know who I am. And this trip, the 6-month travel journey that I had on my own, taught me who I really am. And I know what I want. And it looks like impact theory. It looks like Joe Rogan. It looks like Gary Vee. Legacy. I want fucking legacy. After months and months of watching other people do it, seeing what success looked like here versus there, this kind of success versus that kind of success, I saw what I wanted. And I was like, okay, so for me to win that, I have to do this shit for like 30 years at the same quality, but better every time. And stay true to myself and not get greedy and not take short-term little cash grabs to do something that goes away from my brand, because the brand is the most important thing. And I just dove in and said, fuck it, dude. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. And I only see us going up, you know, and every time I give money away, I get money back. And so I'm a big believer in it. Just shows who you really are. And I'm a good fucking person, bro. Like when I have a lot of money, I don't have like stuff I want to get. Like, of course I want a nice home and like fucking love sex. Like, of course I want like dumb shit, but I'm very good with money. I'm pretty good with money. And so I want to give back. Like the reason I've always wanted to be rich is because I remember vividly, we were at like a restaurant and we like left like a 15% tip. And I just remember looking back at the waiter and she just like looked so crestfallen. And then I was a waiter for like a year and just like having that experience and being like, damn. And, you know, one person's good tip can like make or break a day sometimes. And I've seen like David Dobrik, Mr. Beast do these like dropping 10K or like $1,000 tip and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, I want to do shit like that. Like, it's so cool to make people's day, especially if you can do it and just like be anonymous. Like for me, I'm not going to make YouTube videos and be like mic'd up, you know, and be like, oh, here's like your thing with like $1 million sticking out of it. Like, that's not what I want to do. But I like the idea of like giving back and helping people out and being like a kind of like a beacon of light if I can, because I feel like I have this extra perspective that came from this trip especially. And I have a self-belief in me that I think can help. And I think I offer something in this world that doesn't exist yet. And that's what I want to do with like my wealth, dude. I want to give back and I want to spread it. And I'm not like greedy like that. Like, that's just not who I am. And I've never been like that. And I know when I have money, it's not going to change. Like, I love the idea of delegating. I love the idea of hiring other people and like giving other people opportunities. Like, I love all that shit. And so me having money is just giving me a platform to do all the things I've always wanted to do in my whole life. I've wanted to be like a leader, or I've always wanted to be like that guy who people want to hang out with. And I found that you only get that when you do your shit and you dive in for yourself and you choose that thing for yourself and you just like literally say, fuck it. You just say, fuck it. And you do it once and something happens in you and you get unlocked and you just step into a more of like an evolved version of yourself. And after that, everything becomes easier, you know, because you jumped off and you're swimming in the ocean. And now a shark swims towards you and you're not scared because like you're in there and you're just like dealing with the next. And then you get better and then you do something else and you say, it's a little bit easier for me now to say fuck it and take another chance. And you get smarter and better at it each time. I've just learned so fucking much about myself this year. And I think it's no coincidence that my YouTube picked up after all this happened. And I had all this like extra awareness pumped into me after all these experiences. Like, I honestly believe I'm the greatest NFT YouTuber on the whole platform right now. Like, I do not see anyone making videos remotely close to my quality and quantity. And for that reason, I know if I just like keep doing this, I will win. I will get to 1 million. I'll win the whole game or whatever you want to call it. I've always done that. Like when I played soccer, I wanted to be the best soccer player. And for so long in my life, it came from a place of insecurity. But this time it's coming from a place of like abundance. Like now I know what I'm worth. And I tried all those things. Everything in my life amounted to me finally being confident to do the thing I wanted to do. And my whole life I've been a conqueror. Anything I wanted to do, I wanted to be the best so I could be noticed, so I could become part of like the group, like whoever's the best. And, you know, I made all state, I made all region, I made north, south, like all stars in the state. I made a college soccer team. I did all the things. And then I conquered that, did college soccer for a little bit, quit that, moved on to bodybuilding, became like a stellar fucking bodybuilder. I was like yoked. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with that. And I was like, I'm going to be a traveler. So I fucking traveled the whole country, literally, and became a travel photographer and conquered that. And then I was like, okay, and this is NFTs. And then I found I'm a really good content creator and I can find this and I can mix this with NFTs. And now I'm a fucking beast and I'm a machine. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to conquer this shit. And this time, it's not coming from a place of insecurity. It's not coming from a place of scarcity and being terrified. It's coming from a place of confidence, strength, and just like energy, bro. Like, I love this shit. I wake up every day and, well, it's been stressful recently, so I'm kind of like dreading everything, but like I still love it at the same time. And I know once I have like a bit of a grip on stuff and I have a little bit more money, so I'm gonna have to hire an editor, and I'm ready to start delegating because I want to do that as soon as possible. For me, as soon as I make more money, that's where delegating kicks in. I want to hire an editor because if I have all that extra time, like 6 or 7 hours back from editing a day, that frees up so much time to do the other things I need to do. And so I'm really excited because I'm very prepared. I'm ready. And another thing is, like, when I first blew up with From Fidel, like, I was pumped and ready to go. I was prepared. I was ready to go in case I went viral. And that's something that a lot of artists need to prepare for, because you don't know when me or anyone else is just going to find your art and just be like, this is sick, and tweet about it. I've done it for 3 or 4 artists now where I tweeted it and they sold out. And like, it's not like I did that. Like, their art was dope. I just pointed at it. Like Fidel says, I just pointed at it. And you never know when fucking someone famous could just see your art and just tweet it, retweet it. And you don't know when you could go viral. And for me, for 10 years, like, I want you guys to understand, I've been fighting for this dream for 10 years. Since I was literally in middle school, I wanted to be a YouTuber. It started with soccer free kick videos, watching free kickers. And, I've just watched YouTube my whole life. And I believed for a long time, and I never expected it though. I never said I do deserve this, but I always kept my standards high and said, I'm going to work hard and continue to do this and continue to believe, but not to the point where I'm delusional and I'm getting angry that I'm not there yet. Just enough to keep me interested and keep me coming back. And after 10 years, dude, like, I can say all of it was worth it. Me not blowing up over fitness was, thank God I didn't, because I don't really give a shit about fitness nearly as much as I used to. And it would suck for me to have built a whole platform and career based on fitness and for me just to lose interest. And now I found something that is so abundant and so limitless, and everything about it is innovative. My whole life I wanted to work in innovation. I always remember I wanted to work like on some kind of team, like kind of like how Google works or Facebook, just like fun, innovative, young people, like energy and like excitement. Because I remember working these shit jobs like Publix, cashiers, restaurants, and I was like, dude, fuck that, dude. Like, literally fuck that. I'm not doing that. And so it's not like I went balls to the wall forever, but I definitely put more effort in than most people to put myself in a separate position. I even got tattoos on my hands as a symbolic gesture to myself, to be like, you're not going to go down this route of just normal jobs. You've kind of cut yourself out now. A lot of jobs are going to turn you away because you're a tattoo. And it kind of forced me into a box where it was like, yo, try and do something here. You never know if you can go viral. And I tried for months and months and months and months. I really, really, really prioritized Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Nothing. But every little bit of that was experience and experience and experience. And that has made me to who I am today. And I'm ready to take on the world. I'm prepared. I earned it. I fucking earned this, dude. Like, I'm only at like not even 2,000 subscribers, but I know I'm going to get to 1 million. It's just, I know it's going to happen. It's like a gut feeling. And my gut feeling is usually right. And I guess there's a little bit I want to talk about with some other podcasts in the past about like meditation. And I know in one of my podcasts was really powerful that I was talking about how meditation is completely necessary and required to not have a shit life. And it's so true. I don't meditate every day for 20 minutes with like with 50 hertz beats or whatever, like frequency. I just like take moments in my day where I make sure I stop, like fully stop. And I've gotten really easy. It's gotten really easy, and I'm good at this now. I can stop in the middle of a walk, pull my earbuds out, and just like breathe and exist and just listen and just exist and be there, really be there for a moment. And like, I don't need 30 minutes. Like, I just need a moment to be like, and no thoughts, just peace, like tranquility. And I spent fucking months of consistent work to get to there, and years before that, and I'm learning that everything in this life is built. Everything is earned. Self-esteem is earned. Feeling good about yourself, self-worth, self-respect, self-love, all that is earned. You can't just say, love yourself. You're not going to just one day, like the reason you wake up and you don't love yourself is because you haven't tested yourself. You haven't tested yourself to see if you're worth it. Your brain is like, well, maybe you're not worth it, and it doesn't know any better. You haven't tested it. You haven't tried it. You think you have. I thought I did until I looked on paper and I was like, damn, all I did was go to college and play soccer and work at a restaurant. That's actually all that I've really done. And I feel like so many of us have like told us ourselves this story about who we are and who we aren't and what we're capable of, what we're not capable of. And what I learn is every time I break through something is that like, there's always another thing to break through. And it seems like I can pretty much just break through all of them if I just do it. And so that's all I've done. I've just been like, you know what? I can do this soccer thing. Let me like invest some more time into soccer, buy some better cleats, learn, like watch YouTube videos, study, give up parties, give up hanging out, give up being cool to play soccer. And it takes that, dude. It takes a little bit of effort, a lot of effort for consistency. Like my entire fucking life, I've been that guy who did the extra thing every time. And this is a funny story I told Sydney the other day. I was like, dude, one time I was in 8th grade or 7th or 8th grade, and we did this thing called Outward Bound. And it was this like survival thing where you like get in canoes and you like live and eat like granola all week, and it's super intense. It's kind of like military for a week. And at the end, it was like you get this gift, like whoever wins gets first place in this thing called like whoever worked the hardest, whoever did the extra work and all that stuff. And I worked so hard, I remember, because I wanted to win. And I didn't. Like, Cross Tolliver won it. And I was like, I remember I was like crestfallen. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just worked so hard and like did all this shit, and like she didn't even notice. Like he literally, I still believe he didn't fucking do anything. Like I should have won that award. And I remember that because that affected me. I was like, dude, fuck, what the fuck? Like, that's so unfair. And that kind of stuck with me for a long, I mean, it's not like I was thinking about this all the time after this happened, but it is something that now I've reflected on and been like, damn, that kind of fucked me up a long time ago, and kind of made me a little bit dependent on other people for like validation on whether or not I was good or if I did well enough. And something I've learned this past year, just blowing through so many different mental barriers, is that just is not the way to do it. And you will never be fucking satisfied if you're always chasing from other people. And there's an episode of like Wizards of Waverly Place, or no. There's actually an episode from Victorious on Nickelodeon from a long time ago with Victoria Justice, where the whole episode is her trying to impress her acting, like the acting teacher. And every time he's like, nope, not good enough. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, try again. And at the very end of the episode, she just like loses her shit. She's like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care if you like it. It's good. I like it. And that was it. Like, that's all he was trying to teach her. And that's something that needs to be instilled in more people, especially young people my age, younger, even older, dude. Like, Gary Vee is like, it's got to be one of the best role models. Gary Vee and Tom Bilyeu, I stand by them, and I'm loyal to those guys because they saved my fucking life on this trip. Like, when you're living in your car and there's no plan, you have no consistency in your life, and having no consistency in your life is really stressful and scary and uncomfortable as fuck, honestly. And to have Gary Vee and Tom Bilyeu consistently putting out uploads and talking and doing their thing, for them to be consistent saved my life. And every time I felt depressed or like shit again, I would just put on an Impact Theory podcast, and an hour and a half later, I felt like I'd gone through a whole journey of a conversation, and I felt like I learned something right there with Tom, and I got somewhere, and I learned something about myself. And that's a highly recommended thing that I would say for a lot of people who are struggling mentally. Just every time you start to feel like shit, just put on an Impact Theory podcast and just listen, and just let someone with a positive, productive mindset help you just get yourself back on track. You don't have to stay with them forever. You don't have to always watch their stuff, but get yourself back on track, and don't feel guilty about it, because sometimes you need help, you know. And I know it's hard to ask for help, and honestly, everyone's busy these days, but that's the best thing about YouTube. And that's the best thing about why I started my YouTube. It's like, I want to be that guy, that friend, that person who's consistent, who shows up for you and is there and interacts and is fun, and you care about them and they care about you. Like, I want to cultivate that. And because I've always wanted that. And YouTubers who did that, I always flocked to them. And I loved how when I would watch YouTube videos, I felt like I was being heard and I was being acknowledged, and they were making it for me, and I mattered, and like they wanted to make good videos for me. And I remember that vividly because I wanted to be that for someone else. I was like, dude, I needed that, and there's so many things that I know now that I'm going to help people and tell people about that I wish someone had told me when I was younger. And that's like my goal with everything. And so that's why transparency makes sense with my brand, because I just hate bullshit. It's just so stupid. It doesn't work. It's a lie. It's delusions, and living in a world of illusions sucks, and it takes forever to get out of that. And so my whole brand, my whole message is to get people to face themselves, get people to grow, get people to stop being complainers, and just like deal with shit. Like, when something goes wrong, you don't have to be like, oh, my life sucks, everything always ends up like this, I'm never gonna make it. You really don't have to think those. You can just not think that. You can just say fuck and just not say anything else. Just like, don't make up a story about how you suck. Just don't do it. Or every time you do, just say fuck, all right, I gotta deal with it, put on a podcast and go deal with it. Like, quit making up the story and holding yourself back, because that's the worst thing. Indecision is a decision. To choose not to do something is the worst of all the decisions, because you're just going to stay stagnant, and it fucking blows. Another thing I want to talk about is I'm 23 years old, and like, I struggled for many years, you know, like I struggled for a lot of years, guys. I can, like, as long as I can remember, like literally as long as I can remember, I've dealt with anxiety, overthinking, self-doubt, always second-guessing myself and never believing in myself truly. And I would just kind of like, the way you get past that is just year by years, over years, guys. You don't understand. If you're starting to realize these things and you're like, oh my God, it's been like 2 years, That's not anything, okay? You need to like go through the life experience to earn some of the things that you can get to appreciate later in life. Kind of like old people, how they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck because they've lived for longer than you, you know? It's the same with everything in life. And when you're younger right now, especially online, social media, people post these stupid fucking videos. Like the stupidest ones are on TikTok where they're like, if you had bought this last week, you would have this. And that's their whole account. It's like, okay, like you're just making me feel like shit and making me feel like I suck and I should have bought it. And like, how the fuck is that helpful? Like that's the type of content that's so just toxic and it's fucking useless. Like every single video I put out has real value and real, if you watch this video, you'll be 1% better than you were before. Like I guarantee that. That's why I make every single video that I do. And I'm very particular about my videos. I don't just make whatever. I make it because it helps me and it helps you. And most of the shit sucks out there. So I chase like, and I respect and I chase people who cut through bullshit and aren't selling people on some stupid sham. And that's always people I've been attracted to. And that's what I hope that you guys find in me. One last thing I want to end on is like a little bit about manifestation. I feel like this podcast has been super like, not spiritual, but kind of like deeper than I thought it was going to be. And manifestation I want to talk about because the more you manifest and the more that like starts to happen, the crazier they get. Like they consistently get bigger and bigger. And so like when I manifested this whole thing, like back in 2020, I wrote in my journal, I'm going to be a YouTuber. And a year later, I am a YouTuber. It's fucking crazy. And to see that I wrote that down so long ago and like very specifically said YouTuber, and I've written down other things that have come true, and I've thought things deeply, like really thought about them and like daydreamed and meditated on it and visualized it, and they happen. And there's things where I'll write something down and like the next day it'll happen. And like the thing that's crazy, like I just filmed a video about brands I want to work with. I literally wrote down, I want to work with like an NFT newsletter / media / news outlet that like prioritizes education and stuff. And like within that same week, I got hit up by an NFT media company to sponsor me. And they're literally exactly that. And so the more that happens, the more I believe I'm like, I am fucking powerful. Like I can do some shit. I know some stuff. Like I have a connection to the universe or something. And like that self-belief grows, and it's earned though. Like I didn't just like one day believe in myself. It took years of me not believing in myself and realizing I'm not going to get anywhere, and listening to other people who don't have what I want tell me what I need to do makes no fucking sense. And the second I started listening to people who were who I wanted to be, Gary Vee, Tom Bilyeu, Benjamin Cohen, people who built brands over a long period of time, I was like, oh, so I just have to pretty much just copy them. And it worked. It literally works, guys. If you follow my strategy, make good content, consistently upload it, don't expect anything for 5 to 10 years, then you can have it too. I know some of you don't want to. Maybe you're 16 and you want to be a YouTuber by 18. Maybe it'll happen. But for you to become a YouTuber from 16 to 18 means you literally need to make that your #1 priority and not do anything else. And you maybe can have it. But for most of you, you want to make 3 YouTube videos and have 1 million followers. And then you're just like, oh, I'll just vlog now. And that's not how anything works. Nothing will ever be handed to you. Everything you have to get yourself. Every single thing. Okay? You have to stick your hand out to win. Like I got two job offers from YouTube videos, under 100 views. I just made the video, extended my hand basically, and got a job interview. But it took me making that video and, you know, bothering to do the trivial shit that got me there. And doing the trivial shit, guys, the reason people don't do the trivial stuff is because they don't think it's worth it. But a lot of the times it's the trivial shit that I do every day on a consistent basis, every day. That is the reason I'm here versus someone who didn't make it. So yeah, manifestation is crazy. I've been journaling a lot, just making sure I've got like a lid on my head. I always fall in these like horrible habits of like only journaling when shit sucks. And I want to just journal when I'm just chill, when it's just neutral, normal. And it's been good. I've been doing a decent job, like keeping my head and staying cool and all that stuff. But it's definitely getting overwhelming. Like I'm definitely excited to get an editor. That'll be my first thing. Like the first person on the staff will have to be an editor because I just can't do anything until I have that. And then, dude, like as soon as the editor is hired, my YouTube shit is going to take a fucking huge step up. So I'm really excited. Guys, I don't want to talk too much. Honestly, I have a bunch of stuff to do tonight. So I'll extend this interview, or I'll extend this podcast to that Q&A, and we'll get deeper into some stuff. I just wanted to record a little piece of me in case I didn't get to do it until like another month from now. So thanks for listening. These little interviews with myself are usually pretty cool. I don't even know. Usually when I'm talking, I'm not really hearing what I'm saying, and I listen to it back later, and I'm like, damn. But anyways, I appreciate you listening. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. Comment down below if you made it here. We'll do a code word. How about code Squirtle? Pokemon Squirtle, this dude. So if you say that, I'll know you're here at the very end, and I would really appreciate that, because this is like a podcast video and most people don't stay till the end. So I appreciate you watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you want to see more of me right now, click on one of these boxes on the other side of me. Until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video.